Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Treasur, and we are at the Millennium Tour 2021. And I don't have just a special guest with me, because you know at Urban Grind TV, we always say we got a special guest, right? I got an R&B legend right here, the multi-platinum singer, musician, Lloyd. What's up, Lloyd?
It's very kind of you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Big shout out to Urban Grind, the city of Chi-Town. Anybody watching this out there, wishing you much health, because that's the most important thing today. And show was amazing. Thank you for coming.
Yes, health is definitely wealth. And speaking of wealth, like we want to talk about like your rich sound, because we were lucky enough to get here. I mean, John will tell you we were like running in the rain trying to make sure we didn't miss your performance, right? And it was amazing. So Chicago treating you good? Like how are they embracing you, and how do you connect with this city even with your music?
This city has taught me a lot. Since I was 17, I've been coming here pretty consistently. Um, I definitely resonate with the South Side, you know what I mean? And the West Side also. A lot of respect historically for this town, what it means to be African American. Um, I learned a lot about being a man, being a brother, and now being a father from a lot of my teachers that live here. So very thankful for this town. Come here a lot, even when I'm not making music too.
Yeah, and listen, I want to know, like, when you perform Get It Shorty, like, I don't know about nobody else, but that's one of my favorite records. But out of all of your hit records that you have, which one is it that you perform that you just never get tired of?
Oh, I don't have one. Nah, I don't have one.
Well, that's a good thing, because that means you got so many great hits, right? So going all the way back to, like, Street Love, I know, like, that was a classic album. And then going to the heartfelt and honest song, True. And everything that you've done since then, like, what brought you here? What brought you to the songs that you're doing now with Slow Wine Bassline and with They Don't Care? Like, what brought you to that?
Just being a reflection of life, using music as pretty much that, a mirror to, the situations of my life, things that define me outside of off the stage, and then bringing that, letting it bleed onto the stage. Being from New Orleans, being raised by jazz, blues, soul, gospel, they all had like human experiences attached to them. So I try to make sure to incorporate that. Although you have songs like Get It Shawty, that's really just about having fun, for all my big steppers out, my Chicago steppers out there. But, just having a connection, to things, to people, to places sometimes, and to real life situations. That's the kind of music that resonates with me the most. I don't live in a club, so I live in the real world, and in the real world we go through real things. So just trying to be a reflection of that. At the same time, evolve as a musician, as a producer, and hopefully not lose the sound that makes me distinctive, but just keep adding on layers.
And speaking of being a producer, you worked with one of the most recognizable producers probably in the industry, Teddy Riley, right? So what was that experience like?
Wow, Teddy is pretty much a genius, to say the least. He had a song that he did back in the day with Keith Sweat that I sampled, and I thought it would be nice to reach out to the originators. First, I reached out to Keith, of course, to get his blessing on the song, let him hear it so he could tell me what he thought. Then I reached out to Teddy to see if he would add to the production with me. And after giving him some ideas of mine, which was really cool because he wanted to know what I wanted, he put some voice box on there, and then he laid some keys on there, and it was really dope. I mean, I didn't get to work with him in person because of COVID. He lives in Vegas. I was in Atlanta. But we definitely communicated a lot, and I think he was proud of my interpretation of his music, which means a lot.
And that's always the best when we look up to people that we listen to, like, and then we able to work with them. I think that's every musician's dream, and nobody knows this until now, but I'm a musician and you on my bucket list. So we're gonna speak that in manifestation right there on Urban Grind TV exclusive right there. But Lloyd, seriously, okay, on top of all that, on top of being a musician, on top of being a singer, what's one thing that we don't know about Lloyd that you actually enjoy to do that goes into your music, you know?
Mm, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Probably being a great father.
People know that.
Yeah.
I let that be
And
known.
letting that love spew through them records.
I'm letting that be known. Um, I don't know. Personally, I could be pretty introverted, kind of private. I'm a bit of a loner at times. Although when I'm in certain settings, I'm a social butterfly. I'm very outgoing, fearless on the stage. But behind closed doors, I'm pretty chill most of the time. I pretty much act like I sound when I talk. Just very chill.
Yeah, I mean, you known for the baby face. Even though you got the beard, right? You still have a baby face. You still have a baby face, and you got the soft voice. And I'm wondering, who were your influences? Like, who were you listening to? I mean, outside of the people that you've already collabed with, right? Who were you listen? Who was in your ears like 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
Well, I mean, there's a list of musicians. I mean, to name them would be pretty much impossible and endless. I don't have any one particular sound or genre of music that I go to for inspiration. I listen to pretty much anything I get my hands on. My greatest inspirations were in my house. My grandpa is probably the greatest inspiration, being a replacement for my father, who I lost when I was young. The way he would put his big earphones on me and he would just run through records. From his day, he had boxes full of cassette tapes from Billboard, sounds of the 40s, sounds of the 50s, sounds of the 60s. And they would break down year by year all the biggest songs from each decade. And I would just really learn those. I mean, those were really some of my first introductions to music. And then my sister is my older sister, Brandy. She's probably like the second biggest influence and definitely one of the biggest influences that's alive to this day. Anything she did growing up, I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? If she ate a certain thing, I wanted to eat that. You know what I mean? I prefer to actually eat her food because it tastes better. You know what I mean? She joined the theater when I was a kid. I followed her into the theater. That's how I learned how to perform in front of people. And still to this day, she's like one of my go-tos. So, yeah, my inspirations were home-based, but music-wise, it's endless.
Yeah, and then on top of music, I know you did TV as well. You covered the DeBarge story, and then you did Unsung. So, as far as like your TV career going forward, do you see yourself doing more movies, or do you see yourself doing like really getting into that film business and just going crazy like you've done in the music?
Yeah, I don't see why not. That was a good experience for me. Big shout out to Russ Parr, who actually invited me on to be a part of the set. Yeah, I think I could see something in the future, but definitely music is probably my top love. Yeah.
And it's like with you doing TV and stuff. See, you're on Urban Grind TV, so this is like we're honored to have you and for you to be speaking with us. And before you go, even though I know they already know, tell them where they can find you.
Hey, I'm on Instagram at curly-headed-black-boy. Twitter is Lloyd_YG. LloydMusic.com. Is that the site, Amber? That's so sad. Yeah, officialLloyd.com. Okay, I'm still living in 2004. OfficialLloyd.com. And you can catch me on the Millennium Tour until November 26th is the last date in Vegas. So if you're not in Chi-Town, maybe we'll be in a city near you. Come out, see the show. A lot of great energy and celebrate life.
Y'all heard it here first. This is Treasur. This is Urban Grind TV. We are here with R&B legend Lloyd, and we'll see y'all next time.
Hey, what up, world? This is Lloyd, wishing you nothing but love, happiness, humility, humor, and health. And I'm live on Urban Grind from the Chi City. You dig? Keep it locked.